Welcome to Candid Conversations with Candidates, brought to you by Crowing Power in partnership with Lakes Media Collaborative and the Brainerd Lakes Chamber. I'm Lisa Paxton, and it's my pleasure to welcome Dale Lueck. Dale is a Republican candidate for State House District 10B. Welcome, Dale.
Thank you.
Go ahead with your opening comments.
Yes, I'm Dale Lueck, running for House seat 10B, and I was born and raised in Aiken County. Lived on a farm just south of Aiken. I've been married for 43 years. My wife and I have 2 grown children and 4 grandchildren now, ages 11 through 24. I'm looking forward to serving the people here in the district. I think I bring an understanding of the needs of the district and how we can move the district forward here. We've got to get busy on jobs and ensure that we've got a bright future for everybody here in Minnesota, and particularly in District 10B.
Great to have you. We're going to talk about a number of topics in the short time we're together. First, give us a perspective on what are 3 things that distinguish you from the other candidate.
Well, first I put my family forward. My wife and I have raised 2 children. We went through all those trials and tribulations as parents. I think I bring an understanding of the challenges that all of us face in the district as we want to raise our children and get them out into the economy, get good jobs, get that education, that type of stuff. Second, I guess I would put forward my business experience. I've put 28 years in the Navy, but for the past 15 years I've been my own boss. We farm, and I also ran a newspaper publishing business, so I understand the needs of small business. And third, I have some experience in public service. I'm currently the president of the Aiken-Carleton County Farm Bureau. I've served an elected office at the county level, so I've got an understanding of what we need here at the local level.
Okay. What strategy do you propose to help grow Minnesota's economy?
Oh, first and foremost, we have got to improve our business climate. You know, we're ranked 46th in the nation in Minnesota as far as the worst business climate, and that stems from taxes that stifle business rather than support business. We've got unwarranted and unnecessary regulations. We have got to free our business up and make sure that we can create and sustain those long-term good-paying jobs. That's the key to a brighter future here in the 10B and in Minnesota in general.
Okay. So let's talk about the budget. What are your proposals to help balance the next state budget?
Boy, first and foremost, we cannot spend money we do not have. It sounds simple. We've got to hold the spending in check. We're hostage to the revenue that comes in. What a lot of people forget is half of our budget revenue comes in through the income tax. And the way we help that situation is through job growth and getting people good jobs. And so we've got to work on creating jobs, and then the budget will take care of itself. We've got to have the discipline, and I've got it. I've made the tough decisions both in business and at the local level to just hold the line on spending. It's painful, but I'm willing to go forward and do that.
Okay. Let's talk about transportation. Here in central Minnesota, transportation is critical. What is your solutions to Minnesota's unmet transportation needs?
Well, I will be a champion for that down there in St. Paul. I understand the importance that literally everything we do up here moves on wheels, and we've got to make sure that we spend those transportation dollars on infrastructure that supports commerce, supports our local businesses, brings those tourist dollars in here, allows our raw materials to move around. So I will absolutely be an advocate. We've got to keep that infrastructure strong. I mean, our logging industry, natural resources, it all depends on that. And it's just a matter of making sure we don't go down these blind alleys on things like rapid transit and those types of things. They don't count up here. We've got to have good, solid roads that will support commerce. And that's where I'm coming from on the transportation.
Okay, thanks. Education is important. You talked about education of our young people in your opening comments. What do you feel is the state's role in workforce development within education?
Boy, first and foremost, we need to fully fund education. However, that does not mean just giving a blank check. We've got to ensure that we're results-based, and the end product of our education system are great young men and women that are out there able to go out into the workplace and get a good job and sustain themselves. And that's got to be a partnership. It's got to be a partnership between our education system and our businesses, so that we equip the people to go out there and be productive members of society that can earn a good living and continue to expand opportunities in Minnesota. It's absolutely important, and no blank checks, but we've got to have world-class education for our young people in Minnesota. That's our future.
Okay. Healthcare is one of the last topics we're going to cover, and it's predicted that Minnesota's healthcare spending is going to double in the next 10 years. How would you address the rising cost of healthcare?
That's a tough one. With Obamacare and the governor recently opting into the exchange insurance exchange system, as a state legislature, we don't have a lot of control over what's going on there. But what I will do and make sure that we deal with is we've got some extra costs. Dublin you're talking about coming down. It's going to hit right square on our businesses in this district. We've got to be able to offset that with appropriate reforms in the tax area, get rid of the unnecessary red tape and regulations relative to running the business. Unfortunately, Obamacare is the law of the land, and if it's repealed, it may be a different story, but until such time, I'm going to be in there working to make sure that our businesses survive and we don't end up crushing jobs. And I do have control at the legislature. We do set the tax policy for the state, and we do set the regulatory policy for the state, and that's where I'll work to try to offset what I see as some real tough issues that our business people are going to be saddled with.
Okay, good. Well, that concludes our formal questions. Anything else you want to share with the voters?
Well, I just want to mention I'm a veteran. I spent 28 years in the Navy. Most of that time I was trying to figure out how to get back to Minnesota, and I'm here to stay. I believe in citizen legislature. I'm 62 years old. I'm not interested in making a 20-year career out of elected office. I think everybody has a duty to serve and then get out of the way, go back to the private sector, and I fully intend to do that. But it's an opportunity to serve. I really believe in public service, and wonderful opportunity if I'm elected.
Okay. Thank you, Dale, for joining us today, and thank you for joining us for Candid Conversations with Candidates. You can listen to this interview and others at votebrainerdlakes.com and also see our online voters guide. Remember, vote November 6th.